Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Marcelo Brambullis. I am the traveling Tolkienist, and I'm gonna talk to you a little about a certain picture that has been shown today for the very first time. It's of course from Lord of the Rings on Prime, the upcoming Amazon series, and I'm pretty sure that you have seen this today. This is the first official picture. It's been made clear from some of the press releases that have happened at the same time as Lord of the Rings on Prime pushed the picture on their social media channels, etc. That this is from the first episode done by a certain director called Bayona. And well, here we are. It's the first picture. The hype is real. Everyone goes utterly nuts on, oh my god, what could this possibly be? Because we can see here in this particular scene something that most of us may not have expected. We will probably be seeing the two trees. We will be seeing the first age. We're probably seeing the city of the elves in the Kalakiria, Tirion. Now, what has people in a complete, tizzy is that there are a couple of details that are not really clear. Now, first of all, there is this one sort of lonely figure in the more or less center of the picture. It's not quite clear whether it's a male or female figure. He or she seems to be having sort of short hair or maybe things put up in a bun. So one of the more educated guesses, definitely this could be Galadriel. Which I would believe too. What is more important, of course, is that we have here a city, an elven city, as far as we can tell. From all the descriptions in the Silmarillion, this could and should probably be Tirion, and this should be Mindon and Delieva, the tower in that city. Maybe not quite the shape or size or form that we may know from the Atlas of Middle-earth from Catherine Fonstad, but let's have some artistic license here. Another element, is particularly the tower, which is a central piece. It's the tallest building. It's always mentioned. It's also mentioned that it has a beam that goes out onto the sea. So you don't see that here, but it's a detail. Let's not worry too much about it. You have those two, and that seems to be sort of proof for the time being that we're talking about the two trees of Valinor, Laurelin and Telperion, at a time when they still gave light. This is not the Second Age. By then, when Numenor comes into being, they no longer exist. They were attacked by Ungoliant and Melkor and destroyed. So, that's when later on Sun and Moon came into being, etc. So the question is, who's that figure? Who is, what city might this be? Is it truly First Age? Because up until now, the Silmarillion and other storylines seemed sacrosanct. But, the agreement that happened in 2017 seems to have pushed the goalposts a little. And, well, if this is the beginning of the series, it will in all probability be a flashback. And I'm pretty sure that would be my guess for now, that this is a, Galadriel looking back at the city in past glory when both trees were still alive. And I would assume that this is a flashback of her before she then turns around and the flight of the Noldor happens, and the doom of Mandos, and the end of the First Age, and switching over to the Second Age, the War of Wrath and all those things. It's an excellently chosen piece. It gives you just enough detail to produce madness in large parts of Tolkien fandom. I would also agree that this is it's not Tom Bombadil. as some people have said or suggested, particularly John Ronald Rolkin Tolkien. It's not Feanor, because Feanor would never have looked back in that kind of manner towards the trees. That's just not in him. And others have said, as long there's nothing burning, it could possibly not be, Feanor. No, it really is. And it opens up the discussion until the 2nd of September of 2022, or until we have, more material coming up. And it's been made clear that New Zealand marketing, New Zealand tourism, will start promoting the upcoming Tolkien series and the tourism value of it for the country by this winter, for the Christmas season. That we will have to make do with this little bit in the next couple of days. And I know everyone, like every YouTuber, Reddit, all of the places that you can have people detailing and taking apart such things will happen the next couple of days and weeks, and we will have a lot to do with this. So for the time being, my guess would be this is Galadriel looking back in a flashback or a dream, looking back at what used to be, paradise in Middle-earth, Valinor, the Tirion, the city of the elves, the most beautiful they ever built. And from that, they are fallen. That's Galadriel is one of the leaders of the Noldorin rebellion. She is one of the last, in the end, to return to Valinor over the ages. So it's when you look for power, if you want to have your own realms in Middle Earth and become a queen, that you get banned from Valinor, at least for a time being. Anyway, this is how I see things right now. It's really interesting to see some of the details, which seem to be a bit in a contrast or contradiction to some of the material we have from the Silmarillion and other sources. Is it the size of the trees? Could they be so close to each other? Can we see Valmar, which should be around there? Isn't Tirion built upon a hill in the valley, not on the side of the Pelori of the mountains? This kind of stuff. Then you see a small number of figures walking across parts of the city. So who is this? What is happening? What time of year is it? Is it a time of festival? Which usually is a time of disaster in Valinor's and the First Age, before the First Age history, that kind of stuff. So, well, we'll see what happens. My thoughts quickly for you, and let's see what happens in the next couple of days and weeks. See you then.